Aristotle was a philosopher and scientist, a towering figure in the annals of history. His contributions to various fields of knowledge have left an indelible mark on the world. He lived in ancient Greece, a civilization known for its rich culture, philosophy, and advancements in various domains of knowledge. Aristotle was born in 384 BC and died in 322 BC. His life spanned a period of great intellectual activity and political change in Greece. Aristotle is considered one of the most influential thinkers of all time. His ideas and teachings have profoundly influenced Western thought and continue to be studied and revered to this day. His ideas shaped Western thought for centuries. Aristotle's works were preserved and studied by scholars throughout the ages, ensuring that his legacy endured. Aristotle's work covered many subjects, including physics, biology, ethics, and politics. He was a polymath, a person whose expertise spanned a significant number of different subject areas. Aristotle believed in observation and empirical evidence. He thought we should study the world around us. Aristotle emphasized the importance of empirical observation and systematic investigation in understanding the natural world. He emphasized reason and logic, using these tools to understand the universe. Aristotle's method of logical analysis and his development of formal logic were groundbreaking and laid the groundwork for future scientific inquiry. Aristotle's work laid the foundation for modern science. His contributions to various fields, including metaphysics, ethics, and natural sciences, have had a lasting impact on the development of human knowledge and understanding. Today, Aristotle's influence can still be seen in many areas of modern science and philosophy. His commitment to observation, reason, and systematic inquiry continues to inspire scholars and scientists around the world. As we continue to explore and understand the world, the legacy of Aristotle remains a guiding light, reminding us of the importance of curiosity, critical thinking, and the pursuit of knowledge. Aristotle's father, Nicomachus, was a physician, a profession that was highly respected in ancient Greece. It is likely that Nicomachus taught young Aristotle about the natural world, instilling in him a curiosity and a desire to understand the workings of nature. At the age of 17, Aristotle traveled to Athens, the intellectual hub of the ancient world. There, he enrolled in Plato's Academy, a renowned school of philosophy that attracted the brightest minds of the time. Aristotle spent an impressive 20 years at the Academy, immersing himself in the study of philosophy, science, and the arts. Under Plato's mentorship, he honed his analytical skills and developed his own unique perspectives. Despite their close relationship, Aristotle and Plato had significant philosophical disagreements. Plato believed in a world of perfect forms, abstract and unchanging ideals that existed beyond our sensory experiences. He argued that the physical world was merely a shadow of these perfect forms. In contrast, Aristotle believed in the reality of the physical world. He argued that knowledge comes from empirical observation and experience. Aristotle thought we should study what we can observe, measure, and analyze. He believed that by examining the natural world, we could uncover the principles that govern it. This fundamental difference in thinking shaped their philosophies and influenced countless generations of thinkers. While Plato's idealism emphasized the importance of abstract reasoning, Aristotle's empiricism laid the groundwork for the scientific method. Aristotle's time at the Academy was not just about learning, it was also about contributing to the intellectual community. He wrote extensively on a wide range of subjects, from biology and physics to ethics and politics. His works reflected a deep commitment to understanding the world through observation and reason. Even after leaving the Academy, Aristotle's influence continued to grow, shaping the course of Western thought for centuries to come. Today, Aristotle is remembered not only as a student of Plato, but as a pioneering thinker whose ideas laid the foundation for many fields of study. His legacy endures in the principles of logic, science, and philosophy that continue to guide us in our quest for knowledge. Aristotle believed in a geocentric universe, meaning he thought the Earth was the center. This idea was rooted in the observations and philosophical beliefs of his time. Aristotle's geocentric model placed the Earth at the center of the universe, with all other celestial bodies, including the Sun, Moon, and stars, revolving around it in perfect circular orbits. This model was not just a scientific theory, but also a reflection of the human-centric view of the cosmos prevalent in ancient Greek culture. He thought the sun, moon, and stars revolved around us. This belief was based on the apparent motion of these celestial bodies across the sky. To the naked eye, it indeed seemed as though the sun rose in the east and set in the west, and the stars moved in a grand celestial dance around the earth. Aristotle's observations were meticulous, and his conclusions were drawn from what he could see and measure with the tools available at the time. This was a common belief at the time. Many ancient cultures shared similar views, and Aristotle's model was widely accepted and taught. It provided a framework for understanding the cosmos that fit well with the philosophical and religious beliefs of the era. The geocentric model was not just a scientific explanation, but also a way to place humanity in a central, significant position in the universe. Aristotle's model of the universe was influential and accepted for centuries. It became the cornerstone of astronomical thought and was integrated into the teachings of the church and medieval scholars. The geocentric model was so deeply ingrained in the intellectual fabric of society that it persisted well into the Renaissance, shaping the way people understood their place in the cosmos. Aristotle also had ideas about physics. His contributions to the field were extensive and covered a wide range of topics, from motion to the nature of matter. Aristotle's physics was based on the idea that everything in the natural world had a purpose and a place. His theories were built on observation and logical reasoning, forming a comprehensive system that explained the physical world. He believed in 4 elements: earth, air, fire, and water. These elements were thought to be the fundamental building blocks of all matter. Each element had its own natural place in the universe, with earth being the heaviest and seeking the center, and fire being the lightest and rising to the heavens. This elemental theory was a cornerstone of Aristotle's natural philosophy. He thought objects moved to their natural place. According to Aristotle, the motion of objects was determined by their composition and their natural tendencies. For example, a rock, being made of earth, would naturally fall to the ground, while fire would rise towards the sky. This idea of natural motion was central to his understanding of physics. For example, a rock falls because it is made of earth. This explanation was part of a broader theory that sought to explain why objects behaved the way they did. Aristotle's ideas about motion and the elements were influential and formed the basis for much of the scientific thought that followed. These ideas were later challenged by scientists like Galileo. Galileo's observations and experiments provided evidence that contradicted Aristotle's geocentric model and his theories of motion. The work of Galileo and other scientists eventually led to a new understanding of the universe, one that placed the sun at the center and described motion in terms of inertia and gravity. This shift marked the beginning of modern science and the end of the Aristotelian worldview. Aristotle made significant contributions to logic. He developed a system of reasoning called syllogistic logic, which uses deductive reasoning. This means going from general principles to specific conclusions. Syllogisms are still studied today and are a fundamental part of logic. Aristotle also studied language. He believed language was a tool for understanding and thought we use language to categorize the world. Aristotle's work on logic and language influenced Western philosophy. Observing the natural world. Aristotle was a keen observer of nature. He was fascinated by living things. He studied animals and plants. He made detailed observations of their behavior and anatomy. He is considered the father of zoology. Aristotle believed in studying nature directly. He dissected animals. He recorded his observations. He used these observations to develop theories. He believed in empirical evidence. This means basing conclusions on observation. Classifying life. Aristotle developed a system for classifying animals. He grouped them based on shared characteristics. He divided animals into 2 main groups, those with blood and those without. He further divided these groups. He used traits like the method of reproduction. Aristotle's system was a major contribution to biology. It was a precursor to modern taxonomy. This is the science of classifying organisms. His work shows a systematic approach to understanding life. Aristotle also wrote about politics. He believed humans are political animals. He thought we are naturally drawn to living in communities. He studied different forms of government. He compared their strengths and weaknesses. Aristotle identified 3 good forms of government. These were monarchy, aristocracy, and polity. He also identified their corrupt forms. These were tyranny, oligarchy, and democracy. He believed the best form of government was a mix. It would combine elements of different systems. Aristotle's ethics focused on virtue. He believed in living a virtuous life. He thought this led to happiness. He defined virtue as a balance between extremes. For example, courage is a virtue. It is a balance between cowardice and recklessness. Aristotle believed we develop virtue through practice. He thought we become virtuous by doing virtuous acts. He emphasized the importance of reason in ethics. He thought we should use reason to make moral decisions. Aristotle's work had a profound impact on Western thought. His ideas influenced philosophers for centuries. His work was translated into Arabic and Latin. This made it accessible to scholars in the Islamic world and medieval Europe. Aristotle's emphasis on reason and observation shaped the scientific revolution. His ideas about logic and language influenced the development of Western philosophy. His work on ethics and politics continues to be studied today. Aristotle's legacy is vast and enduring. His contributions to science, philosophy, and politics are undeniable. He was a polymath. This means he had expertise in many different fields. He left behind a wealth of knowledge. Aristotle's emphasis on observation and reason remains relevant. His work reminds us to study the world around us. It encourages us to think critically and question our assumptions. Aristotle's ideas continue to inspire us to seek knowledge. His work reminds us of the power of human reason.